Welcome to Pretty Good Gaming. It is October the 19th. He's Gaz, I'm Henry. It's just 1 week until Red Dead. Get yourself excited, or don't if you don't care. But in the meantime, you've got your daily dose of news and of course those yummy crunchy nuggets. So today we've got an update on the Rockstar worker crunch. Bethesda have been cleaning up their lore problems. But first up, we've got the latest on Black Ops 4's incredible sales. The latest entry in the Call of Duty franchise, Black Ops 4, has just smashed its opening weekend, making over $500,000 in sales. Black Ops 4 is off to a blockbuster start. Rob Kostick, Executive Vice President and General Manager of Call of Duty, told Business Wire. This is a huge course correct for the series after many fans seem to fall off the annual release franchise with the launch of Infinite Warfare back in 2016, which received just 77 on PS4 on Metacritic. Last year's COD World War II returned the franchise to its 20th century roots and fared a little better, but still only received 79 on PS4 on Metacritic. That's not to say that COD World War II didn't do well. It also made $500,000 in launch sales too, which doubled Infinite Warfare's launch. With Black Ops 4 doing so well in terms of sales and critical reception, currently sitting at 85 for PS4 on Metacritic, this is a big win for Activision. Black Ops 4 is also setting new franchise records for most combined players, average hours per player, and total number of hours played on current generation consoles, according to Business Wire.
The game is also most viewed on Twitch in franchise history, according to Business Wire, which can only further its popularity. With outlets noting that the absence of a campaign and the addition of the very popular Blackout Battle Royale mode making all the difference. The game still has a little way to go before reaching the monolithic success of its PS3, Xbox 360 era cousins, with Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 taking the top spots, with all three games having around 30 million units sold each as of January 2018. If the enormous success of World War II and Black Ops 4 recently are anything to go by, the franchise does seem to be making a comeback.
So with the massive success of Black Ops 4, does that make you want to get back into it as a franchise? Because I'm not really that fussed, especially with the lack of campaign. I'm a big narrative guy, and multiplayer, it's fun for a bit, but to me it's quite a shallow experience and I never really get the kind of longevity out of it. The Battle Royale stuff is supposed to be pretty good, so that entices me a little, but then is it just another Fortnite or PUBG clone?
Yeah.
Is it enough to get me back into a franchise that I haven't cared about since probably COD 4, the first Modern Warfare?
It would be interesting to see how PUBG is faring now in terms of player figures, because you would assume that PUBG has lost a few of its player base now with the more polished version coming out in the form of Blackout. This has obviously been a huge success due to the likes of Twitch, which PUBG was because of all the streaming, people watching, people getting excited for the game, and that adds to the popularity, adds to the excitement and hype around the game.
I think when it comes to Battle Royale, there's loads of games doing it, improving on it in little ways compared to PUBG, which really popularised that genre, I guess, kind of sub-genre of multiplayer games. And Call of Duty seems to be doing the same thing. They're adding their own unique shooting mechanics, that Twitch shooting thing, which lends itself very well to a Battle Royale kind of game mode. Zombies in the map as well, I think is a good little addition, because then you can be doing PvP and PvE, so yeah.
It makes a difference. Obviously, this is on the back of all the retaliation and backlash that Call of Duty franchise got with Infinite Warfare, and the trailer's still sitting at the second most disliked video in YouTube history or something like that, and it's the most disliked video game trailer ever because they wanted boots on the ground. Was that whole movement where people just wanted an authentic kind of Call of Duty, which they actually brought last year, which made everybody happy again. So everybody's happy and Activision happy, and there are hookers and blow parties, right?
Yeah, hookers.
We can only assume. We wouldn't ever say that because we don't have experience like that. Is that alright, Henry?
No, I'm not cool enough for that sort of shit. I'm busy sitting at home being like, right, 10 o'clock, time to go to bed.
Yeah, the funny part of that is that's actually true.
Yeah, but it's not a joke. Hookers and blow parties aside, everyone knows the perfect party has a nice spread of food, a buffet, and you know what's the best part of it? The nuggets. So here they come.
Sony Bend Studios has gone and increased the amount of days it will be before the release of their game Days Gone. The game has been pushed back a whole 2 months and will now release on April the 26th. See what I did there? That was fun. Little twist on brains. I'm not appreciated, am I?
No. Microsoft has announced that Valve's The Orange Box will now feature 4K enhancements on the Xbox One X. The Orange Box includes Portal, Left 4 Dead 2, and Half-Life 2.
A new gameplay trailer for the Witcher card game spin-off, Thronebreaker, has been released. The game will launch alongside the official launch of Gwent on October 23rd.
A zombie outfit has been added to Super Mario Odyssey, but still no Bowser.
We got a new trailer for the recently released Starlink Battle for Atlas, featuring Star Fox.
As if the hype wasn't already big enough enough, Red Dead Redemption 2 got a launch trailer. It's coming and it's going to be the biggest game in the world.
Rip all other games. Rip life.
Rip life.
Isn't it?
Rip my
life.
poor girlfriend on her birthday.
Weapons-based fantasy fighting game Soul Calibur 6 launches today for PC, PS4 and Xbox One.
Dark Souls Remastered launches on the Switch today.
Reign's Game of Thrones released for the PC, Android and iOS yesterday.
I feel like that should be called Reigns of Thrones.
Yeah.
Like, oh well, what do I know?
Not much.
Not a lot. That's fair. The release of single-player Norse comic book action-adventure game Fimbul was announced. It's coming to PS4 and PC on November 29th, followed by the Switch in early 2019.
And finally, dreams really do come true. Dream Daddy Dating Simulator is coming to PS4. Dream Daddy Dad Rector's Cut, as it will be known, is coming to the platform on October the 30th.
I feel like you should get this one because you're the dad jokes guy. It's a game built for you.
Is that right, Henry?
And if you don't know the content of the game, have a look. So there you have all your nuggets. Weren't they tasty? Be sure to check below for the links in the description and check out our merch store as well.
Rockstar executive Dan Houser opened up recently over working practices within the company. He admitted that a team of writers had been working up to 100 hours per week on Red Dead Redemption 2 at times. This was met with hefty criticism and resulted in Rockstar making the headlines for all the wrong reasons. Not exactly what they'd want with Red Dead Redemption 2 just a matter of days from release. In a bid to stem the flow of criticism aimed at them, Rockstar have now given permission for current employees to speak up about their own experiences at the company. But as you'd expect any employee to behave whose job was maybe on the line, they're not exactly dead-eyeing dynamite in the road. You know, because like the huge explosion thing that's in the trailer, that's what that was. You know the trailer where it, like, he shoots, it goes slow and it explodes? No?
No. On Twitter, Rockstar employee Wesley McKinder said, "I've been at Rockstar for 6 years and I've never worked or been asked to work anywhere remotely close to 100 hours in a week." Another Rockstar employee, Tamia Tabori, said, "In over 5 years, I've never been asked or pressured to work anywhere near 100 hours. I have occasionally worked maybe 50 hours a week at most, and nobody demanded or even expected that." Rockstar North senior audio designer Sarah Scott said, quote, "It's been difficult to see inaccurate, false, or out-of-date information regarding the working conditions here at Rockstar circulated so widely by media outlets." The out-of-date information Sarah is referring to is a quote from ex-Rockstar employee Job Stauffer, who said working at Rockstar over 10 years ago was like working with a gun to your head 7 days a week. Sarah Scott continued, "While I appreciate that everyone's experience is different, and I in no way want to take away from the experiences of others, I don't feel that the information I've read this week reflects my personal experience of working here at Rockstar North."
So what this is a bunch of Rockstar employees now given permission to talk about their experiences working within the company. And the majority of them are saying that the experience that we've had is nothing like what's being said, what's being reported by ex-employees, what's being said in the gaming news outlets. It's nothing like that. We've been treated normally, it's a great place to work, and it's not representative of their experiences. However, you would not expect current employees to go out there and say bad things about the company that you're working for, because, alright, they might not get sacked, because if they did, like, news outlets would hear about it and blow that shit up, but they might be vilified by the people working around them, because if they destroy the reputation of the company that they're working for, that puts everybody's job in jeopardy. So maybe this isn't representative of how everybody feels, but for one thing, it's got to indicate that it's not all doom and gloom at Rockstar, especially since the main critic was a guy who worked there over 10 years ago in one very specific development team.
It's a good PR tool as well for Rockstar. It's a good attempt on their behalf to try and quell things, especially if, as they're saying, it wasn't anywhere near as big as news outlets have been saying. We commented on it the other day in one of our videos talking about how this 100-hour crunch thing is crazy and shouldn't be encouraged. But if what they're saying is true and that it's an anomaly that happens with a very select team in a very short space of time, other people in the company are having a good time and do enjoy their work and having, you know, really constructive work environment, that's good news. But obviously, because this is such a PR move, you got to take it with a big helping of salt.
Yeah, sure. Because Rockstar is so big, such a huge company, different development teams all over the globe, right? So any one person's experience might be completely different to somebody else. You might work in a different place under a different team with different management and different pressures as well. People who work on different parts of the game, like coders, animators, or whatever, might be under different pressures to like artists or, you know, those types of people. So any one point of view cannot be representative of the whole company. Maybe people are being put under pressure under very specific circumstances, but does that put you off playing the game? Has this whole news story in itself put you off playing any Rockstar games in the future? Has it changed the way you think about Rockstar? I'd be interested to know what you think down in the comments below. Next up, Bethesda came under fire recently for an apparent retcon in Fallout 76, when a note found in a playtest version of the game seemed to contradict existing Fallout lore. The note was making reference to the Brotherhood of Steel faction who, according to existing lore, weren't reportedly in the area of West Virginia in the time period which the game is set. This led to a lot of anger from Fallout fans towards Bethesda, with a thread on the topic gaining thousands of upvotes on Reddit.
Bethesda have since responded to the outcry with a post on Instagram and Twitter which explains the presence of the Brotherhood of Steel in the game. It reads, quote, November 2077, a month after the Great War, Army Captain Roger Maxson arrived with survivors at the Californian bunker of Lost Hills. There, he formed the Brotherhood of Steel, who used a functioning satellite to extend their reach across America, all the way to Appalachia. Enough said.
We did cover this earlier in the week, which was met with a little bit of backlash because people thought that we were criticising the fact that the retcons are fine. That's not what we said at all. We said maybe just wait and see and don't get angry straight away. You know, they might come out and explain it well, which they have done. It took them 45 words to explain it, and it seems like a lot of people are happy. This is alright, this makes sense, it falls in with the current lore. Although a few people on Reddit are saying, why don't they just make a new faction? Which is exactly what we said, right? Sisterhood of Steel, that's what we said.
Sisterhood of Steel.
One of our suggestions. And other people questioning the fact that there's a working satellite, what's going on there. Other people also criticising this for various other very specific reasons, but at least this goes part of the way to, you know, if you are a lore fan, mate, hopefully this appeases you. If not, let us know down below. Tell us what your issue is still with it. We're not against lore and people being in favour of lore. All we say is just like, maybe base your anger on the facts, not on any sort of assumptions. I guess that's the best way to say it without saying, I told you so, because we don't want to say that, right?
We would never say that. At least not on camera. The key takeaway for me from this is that it's not a retcon, so to speak. It's them building the lore. It's not shitting on anything that's come before. It's not crushing the legacy of the Brotherhood of Steel and everything that was written about them. It's taking one part of it and then going, okay, let's run with this bit and make this a thing. It is a bit, oh yeah, what they should have just put together a new faction, which is what we think. But because the Brotherhood is so iconic to the Fallout franchise with all of the armor and all that, of course they're going to want to put that in their newest game.
Imagine how upset fans would be if they didn't get to play in Brotherhood of Steel armor or whatever, because there's loads of people who would rather have that in the game. But anyway, that's just arguments for and against this thing, but let us know what your opinion is down in the comments, like we said. So that's all for today and this week. In fact, if you want to be notified when the next video goes live, hit the notification bell on this video. Also, if any of you guys are interested in supporting this channel, we are almost entirely funded and supported by the supporters on Patreon. So if you guys want to help support the channel and help support what we do here at PGG, head over to patreon.com/prettygoodgaming to see how you can help us make these fun, entertaining, kind of awesome videos. Pretty good videos.
Pretty good, yeah. We're not crap, we're not amazing. We're in that little bit. Pretty good.
So that's it from us. We'll see you again next week. Until then, bye for now. Pew! This is a gaming show. Save that for the movie show. You gotta roll with it. Demonetization, here we come. With red.
I like this one because it's funny.
It's funny, makes up for your lack of sense of humour, right?
Yeah. I was really trying to hold it together.